Everybody. Super excited for today's information. All of our speakers here today are on childcare resources. We're starting off with Jerletha McDonald. Jerletha has a bachelor's degree in child development and family studies with a minor in early childhood intervention from Stephen F. State University. She owned and operated a family child care center for 15 years and is the founder of the Arlington DFW Family Child Care Network. In April 2016, she was recognized by the Grand Prairie NAACP as one of the most influential in business. In 2018, Jerletha was appointed to Governor Greg Abbott's Early Learning Council representative. In 2020, she received the North Texas Early Childhood Leadership Award from Childcare Associates. Special interest in the economic development of women of color in the field of early child care and education, with a primary focus in family child care. She's here today to talk about how she works with family child care entrepreneurs to become regulated operations, forming sustainable business models.
Everyone, thank you so much for that introduction. As she said, my name is Jerletha McDonald. Also, I'm the founder and CEO, ADFW Family Childcare Network, formerly Arlington DFW Childcare Association. And I'm here to share about that today, what that is today. So this is some picture. I'm very intentional about my presentations. I always use actual photos of the family childcare educators in our pictures. So this is one of our networking events that we have just down the street at Live by Lowe's for Christmas. And so we are association in 2014 by me. So this will be our 10th year. So we will host our conference and our gala 10 years in an association here in Arlington, Texas. We support and empower family childcare executives, and also our owners and directors are part of our network as well.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Here, it's good. Okay. And so our association is dedicated to fostering excellence in childcare approach. Our goals encompass education, quality, and accreditation, peer support, community relations, and community service advocacy, like status updates, and business and financial literacy. So we do that by a holistic approach. We are a true community of practice. And what I mean by not just family childcare educators, center owners, and directors, we also network and collaborate with our local early childhood educators. Agencies such as Childcare Associates, which is here today, ECI, help organize that services for early childhood educators and the families that we serve, making a true community of practice. So when we need things, we can go directly to those organizations. And when those organizations need stuff from us, they can come directly from us. But it makes for a better community, especially when we're providing high quality care for the young learners in Arlington and the surrounding areas. If you have any questions, you can kind of stop me because I do talk a little bit, okay? So education, right? We provide monthly workshops. We have been a little bit dormant for the past year and a half due to COVID, but we're back up and running. And so we usually provide a monthly workshop. Workshop will host the training that is required by the state of Texas. We are all regulated providers, which means that someone from the state of childcare regulations comes out and monitor us each year and making sure that we have our health and safety standards are up to par and that we are following minimum standards. So we provide quality training opportunities. That's that monthly professional development. Also, we provide a yearly conference as well. And our yearly conferences are now focusing on the business practice management of childcare, running a high quality childcare organization. We encourage providers to obtain their director's credentials, CDAs, and pursue further education in child development and family studies or business management, because childcare is a business and we need to make sure that we are up on the best business practices that there is out there for childcare educators. Also, quality and accreditation. We make sure that all the family childcare educators in my network are all Texas Rising Star educators are on their way to attaining their Texas Rising Star accreditation. Childcare associates here, they're going to probably talk about that a little bit more in their presentation, I'm sure. So if not that, then also or becoming the National Family Accreditation. So there is an association called the National Association for Family Childcare, which also holds accreditation, and that is become a National Family Accredited Center. And so that's one of the forms of the highest quality rating in the state, and well, not the state, in the nation for family childcare educators as well. So we push our family childcare educators to achieve this accreditation, which we were doing, I want to say, we were doing this before we had to become family credit, Texas Rising Star. So when that rule was applied, most of about 80% of the family childcare educators in my network were already Texas Rising Star providers, right? And so, and now some of them are going to seek national accreditation. So we're all about performing high quality center. Also, peer support. We're creating a supportive environment for educators to share ideas, fellowship, and enhance their professional development standards, and we just collaborate and we network. We have a group chat, we have a Facebook page, and our group chat is going off all day long because most of the family childcare educators are employed in their home. And so we're with little ones all day. So we kind of network and talk through our group chat or on our Facebook pages and stuff like that. And also we do a lot of social events. So like we host our in the community, we do a lot of in-person social events as well. So community relations and community service. We're also out in the community. You'll see us at the Arlington, well, the Cowboy Back to School giveaway that Arlington hosts every year with us. As this was a conference that what was it, Texas Rising Star conference that was held at the Rangers ballpark stadium. We were vendors there. I was a speaker there, and all of our providers in our network were there in attendance, taking their professional development classes, and also networking and fellowshipping, not with just our other early childhood educators, but other agencies as well that serve us. So we're big in our community. So we educate parents, guardians, and providers on the importance of high quality care, early childhood education, fostering kindergarten readiness. That is huge because in our field, one of our biggest clientele are children from birth to 5 years old. So what we do is prepare them for kindergarten readiness. There are certain milestones that have to be hit. Each child is different, but we're there to nurture those milestones and make sure that we're providing a high quality care environment for these children to thrive. And also we participate and volunteer in local community events. Like I said, the Arlington Back to School giveaway, where Grand Prairie has a festival every year. So most of our providers are in Arlington, Mansfield, and Greater Prairie. So we make sure that we're out in the community participating in different things. And also marketing our childcare business. Legislative and regulation updates. We don't just talk about what we want, we are there. This was early ECE Day at the state capitol. It was a lot of things going on, especially pertaining to early care and education. So we participate in Early Childhood Day at the state capitol, where we take time to talk to our legislators about things that are important to us, bills that need to be passed. We are there talking about like, hey, what we want, what we need, and what we don't need. So we are right there. Staying informed about minimum standards and rule changes. So we also participate in the childcare regulations committee. So each year, childcare regulations in our area hosts a conference. So we are on that committee, help planning that conference and making sure that our early childhood educators are getting what they need. And also, active participate. Oh, so that's the council meeting I just said. So also I was on Governor Greg Abbott Early Learning Council for 4 years talking about childcare, and I'm bringing that information back, not only to the ladies in Arlington, but everyone across the state. Also, I advocate and I should say, we advocate nationally as well. I have been to the White House advocating for early care and education, making sure that we get the funding that we need and participating on all sorts of advocacy calls. We participate in Children at Risk, which is a early childhood advocacy agency here, and it's based out of Austin, Texas. So we are very, very active in legislative and what's going on in that. So that business management and financial literacy. So many times people look at childcare and, oh, just childcare, you just keep your kids. No, we're running high quality, sustainable businesses. And family childcare business is a vehicle for economic mobility, especially for women of color. The field of early care and education is comprised of 40% of women, most of the women of color, right? Most women who look like me are Latina, are Asian. All these women are have family childcare businesses across the state. And so this is a vehicle for economic mobility. And so how that can be a vehicle for economic mobility is financial literacy and business management. This is so, so important. That's why we're so big on getting our accreditations, because the higher you're accredited, the more reimbursement, higher your reimbursement rates are, right? The more business management you have, the more you can run your childcare business classes. Some of our members participate in a program called Prime, where they're even learning even more business practices and elevating their back office. So we are very, very involved in being on business management and financial literacy, equipping family childcare business owners with resources and skills they need for sustainable success. Providing education resources to improve providers' understanding of financial management, and empowering providers to make informed decisions and maintain financial stability in their childcare businesses. And another big thing that we're huge on is home ownership. A lot of family childcare educators operate family childcare. You operate your family childcare business out of your home. We are firm believers that early childhood educators who operate childcare businesses out of their home should own those homes, right? And then that will equal what? Economic mobility. And also it will create generational wealth. We're not just talking about money, right? We're talking about having best business practices, budgeting, financial literacy, and all that is passed down to who? Their children, not just their children in their childcare, but their children. Because oftentimes in our field, we are first generation business owners, we're first generation whatever, and first generation homeowners. So what that would do, once we learn and empower ourselves to be business women, we can pass that down to our own families, creating generational wealth. So that's what we mean when we say that. It's open up to family childcare educators, center owners, and directors. Can join us as well, and their staff join us, because we have so much fun. Our center friends come and join us as well. So it's open to that. And we also have a membership for community agencies as well. So community agencies can join us as well, come to our conference, sponsor, be a vendor, or whatever. And so we have two events coming up. On March 30th, we're having the health and wellness class. That class is going to be free for all early childhood educators. We have our partners at Cook's Children's Dental Health who are going to come out and do some a training on dental health practices, and some other community resources that are going to come out. So like I said, we're really big on community and partnering with our community resources and agencies. So this is us. I think that's one of our, we had a paint party for National Child Care Appreciation Day. I want to put that shout out. So May, the Friday before Mother's Day of every year, is always targeted for National Child Care Appreciation Day. That's where you appreciate someone who is caring for and educating young children. What we do, we used to celebrate with a paint party, and now we host a full-fledged gala at Live by Lowe's on the 4th. But we do it the first Saturday of May, so we won't have to interfere with Mother's Day weekend, because that's a very important weekend, right? Okay, so you guys are all welcome to join, or even sponsor your favorite early childhood educator to attend. This is you can find us on ADFW. That's our email address, our phone number, and our website. Our website will be up later on today. It's doing some glitch stuff today, but it's up and running. But you can contact us at adfwchildcare.org. Do we have any questions? Yes.
What is your name?
Oh, Jerlitha McDonald.
Jaleesa?
Yes, Jerlitha, Jerletha McDonald.
And for those joining us online, if y'all, we do have a speaker, we can hear y'all's questions, or if y'all like to comment them in the chat, I'll read them out.
Okay. So did anyone here have any questions for me? Or anyone online have questions?
I'll
Yes.
ask the question, do y'all cover like a specific area? Is there specific like cities that are included? Or is it just kind of broadly?
Right now-
Consider yourself a metroplex, you're okay.
Yeah, so right now, when we first started, it was just Arlington, then it grew to Arlington, Dallas, Fort Worth, and now it's the whole North Texas and the whole state of Texas now, because we're getting a lot of requests for can we form chapters in different areas of Texas. So yes, so I would say the whole state of Texas now. Any other questions? Are there any online questions? Okay, well, thank you all for your time. If you have any questions or if you want to learn more about what childcare is and how we can be a help to your organization or just a referral, because also on our website, you can go, it's a tab to search for regulated care. Let me just put this plug in there. It's important for parents who are searching for childcare to search for regulated care. And they can go to childcare regulations, and everyone who is listed in the state of Texas as a childcare facility, brick and mortar, that is a childcare that is outside the home and that's licensed for more than 12 children and up, that they are on the state's website. Okay, I'll get with you just 1 second. If it's a home childcare, there's 2 certifications. There's registered and there's licensed, and those 2 homes are also listed and regulated by the state of Texas on childcare regulation website. Then there's one more called listed homes, or you may know them as family, friend, and neighbors, FFN. And listed homes that only get a FBI background check. They have a few required hours of training and that's it, but they're not regular. No one from the state comes out to their home as well. And they typically keep care of up to 3 children. So that's about it. So, okay, that's it.
Did I see that, Love Kelly, did you have your hand raised?
Yes. Hello, everyone. How are you? And hi, Julieta. Good to hear from you. Thank you so much for your speech. So my question is about the waiting list. Can you give us details about what your organization or what other organizations in Arlington or surrounding cities, what they're doing about the long waiting list? Because we know that's affecting a lot of our families that we serve.
Yes, it is. So I want to start off with the good first. So when we had COVID and COVID funding, we were able to open that waiting list and fund a lot of families. But right now it is on a hold right now. And so we do have someone from Childcare Associates here that can kind of talk more to that. And I know they are diligently working on opening that list right now. So I know that's a big one. So I'm going to pass that to my friends to Childcare Associates.
Yeah.
But I can you're welcome. But I can surely tell you that they are working diligently on getting that list open for all families. But yeah, it is a long list, but they really are working on it because we have asked them about it too. So I know. So thank you, Letta.
Thank you.
Oh, and over here, yes.
Okay, I work with North Tech Area Community Health Center, but this question is not for them. It's for like, if I wanted to start this at my church,
Yeah.
who do I get in contact with? Who do I call?
Well, I can help you as well, but right now you can go to childcare regulations and search for starting the childcare. And it will give you, you'll look up minimum standards and it'll give you steps to starting the childcare. And then I know you have to apply to attend the orientation as well. But on the childcare regulations website, it will give you all the steps to get started. And I would recommend you downloading the childcare licensing minimum standards for childcare centers. So if you started one in a church, it will be considered a childcare center.
You have a call?
Yes, I do. I can see it. Yes. Any other questions? Okay. Well, thank you for having me.
Thank
Ms.
you.
McDonald.
Thank you. If y'all have any other questions, her contact information was provided and will be in the recap email that gets sent out. So you'll have that, in those slides and recap document as well. So our next speaker with Center for Transforming Lives is Maribel Arambula. Did I say that close to right?
Yes.
Oh, you moved without me. Maribel is an eligibility, recruitment, selection, enrollment, and attendance and parent family community engagement manager. That is officially the longest name I've announced so far, or title I've announced so far. With Center for Transforming Lives, Center for Transforming Lives Head Start program. Maribel has worked in Head Start and Early Head Start since 2007, and she is here today to share information about the early childhood education and childcare programming offered with Center for Transforming Lives.
Hello, everyone. It's nice to be here today. So like she mentioned, my name is Maribel Arambula. It's called URSIA, but no one knows what that acronym is. So that's why she had the long version of that. But basically eligibility, recruitment, and selection of children. So I'm with Center for Transforming Lives. So Center for Transforming Lives has been around since 1907. So it's a pretty old program. So their main goal was to serve low-income women and help them with career choices and resources that they're needing. So over the years, that has evolved. So their mission statement is Center for Transforming Lives works side by side with women and their children to disrupt the cycle of poverty throughout Tarrant County. Our services are 2-generational and establish long-term financial and emotional well-being. So how we do that is our approach is we focus on the early years matter, from poverty to prosperity, and housing stability as family security. So I'm here to discuss the Head Start, Early Head Start portion. So that was added throughout the years. So we do have, and I'll go in a little bit more detail, we have like an economic mobility department. We have a mental health department, counseling services, and then we have the child and family services. And Head Start, Early Head Start Fund falls under that umbrella, and we have housing. So all these pillars were all with the same original goal, was to help single women in this in Tarrant County. So for me, Early Head Start and Head Start, they think they added this program about 6 or 7 years ago. So Head Start is a federally funded program that promotes school readiness for infants, toddlers, and school-age children. And it is a free program, so if families qualify, that is free for families. So we serve children that are 0 to 5. We have 10 centers in Tarrant County, and we have partners. So we have 4 centers that are owned by CTL. We have one in the UTA campus, and then we have 2 partners. So meaning they're privately owned childcares, but we're partnering with them, and we have Early Head Start and Head Start slots in those businesses. So again, it is free of charge if families qualify, and we'll discuss a little bit of how they can qualify for those services. So Head Start programs support children's growth and positive learning environment through a variety of services, which include the high quality early learning. So we do have smaller ratios than childcares. Our standard is for 3-year-olds, we have to have a max of 17 children in there, and for 4-year-olds, a max of 20. For Early Head Start, any child from 0 to 3, there's only 8 children per classroom with 2 providers. So that makes us a little bit different. We have all of our teachers have, Early Head Start teachers have CDAs. Our Head Start teachers, the ones that serve pre-K 3 and 4, they have bachelor degrees, and they are CPR certified as well. And so we focus on that. We use our curriculum as Frog Street, and then we also have a home-based program, and I'll discuss that a little bit as well. We focus on health, so we have hygiene practices during our day with the children. We practice toothbrushing, washing our hands and things like that. But we also focus on like their dental, physical immunizations, making sure that those are up to date, that the parents have medical insurance for their children. We do hearing and vision screenings for all of our children. We do ASQ screenings as well. And then we have a department that follows up on that. So we have children that fail on their hearing or vision, that we're making sure that they're getting those services. If they fail an ASQ screening, which is the social and emotional and ages and stages, that we're following up and referring them to either ECI, to the school district, or to community partners that can help with that disability. Then we have family well-being. So we do have family advocates. Our caseload right now is an advocate has about 30 families that they work with. So they work with those families one-on-one and provide them like community resources to identify if they have any needs. We do have a lot of services in-house. So we usually have diapers and wipes for families in-house. We have a lot of donors. So a lot of times we have gift cards for families if their children are needing clothes, if they're needing shoes, that we usually have gift cards in hand that we're able to provide to families. We provide transportation in the with gift cards, gas cards, and then we also have a transportation fund. So that is helping families with car repairs. So for that, they do have to be already a part of our programming, but we help families if they need new tires, if they need motor fixed, radiator fixed, whatever. We have approved, we have a private donor for that. So we've approved estimates of like up to $5,000 to get their vehicles repaired and get them back working and in school. We have a Better Building Futures Fund, and that helps them stay in school. So we paid tuition for families. We paid scrubs if they're be in a CNA program. They need laptop for their school setting. We purchased that. So that's a different fund. Again, all these funds are if those families are already within our programming. So it's just a little extra perk of being a part of that umbrella. So again, these are the pillars. We do have housing services. So our main location is downtown, and we do have an emergency shelter in that location, and they serve women with 2 children up to the ages of 3, and they're able to stay in the shelter downtown. We have transitional housing funds as well, and then rapid rehousing. So usually if they come into our shelter downtown, then we move them up to transitional housing. And then we work with the with Union Gospel, Salvation Army, and things like that for the rapid rehousing. And then we have the early childhood education, which I mentioned, early Head Start is 0 to 3. We service pregnant women and home base. So those are pregnant women, and they also get home-based services. So we follow a curriculum with them, just making sure that they're preparing for the baby and that we're giving them that guidance. And then we follow up with the parents after they give birth, and then the children enroll into our program as well, in our home-based program. And then we can transfer them to a center if a parent needs that as well. So our home-based services, they get a family advocate to go into their center. It's a 90-minute visit. But it's more teaching the parent how to be the child's first teacher and teaching them that curriculum and the activities that they do at the home with them. Mention Head Start, and we also have childcare. So in our centers in Arlington, the UTA campus does have childcare as well, which is fee-based, and they also have CDBG funding. So that's just, they have to be within a certain income as well, and they get a discount for that childcare. And I know that we have funds currently for CDBG still that we haven't exhausted. So if you do have any families that are interested in childcare, we do have funds to assist them. Let's see, we have economic mobility. So our economic mobility department, they help clients with improving their credit. So families that have gone through there have improved their credit like up to 80 points going through their program. We have career readiness, building client assets. They have one-on-one group coaching, and they also have the Level Up program, which is the small business development. So if you know any families that have their own little business, they help them with that as well, with guidance on how they can get more clients, how can they build their finances and things like that. I did bring a newsletter, but I will also share it with Caitlin to share out. But every month they have sessions, and they'll have like financial coaching sessions, Level Up info, or tenant empowerment workshops. So every month they have these, and I'll send it out so you're able to email it out. So then we also have clinical counseling, and that they counsel children up to the age of 17. They counsel our women that are in our emergency shelter or any of our programming. And then they counsel the whole family as well. So you're able to apply to any of these services with the exception of clinical counseling. So clinical counseling only service the families within already in the umbrella, under the umbrella. So our age eligibility for early Head Start, it's birth to 3 years old or pregnant moms. For Head Start, it's ages 3 to 5. They have to be 3 by September 1st. In the UTA campus, we also have 3-year-old slots available right now. So if you have any families with children that are 3-year-old, we do have some immediate slots for that. Our income eligibility, so if the families are homeless, they automatically qualify for our program, and we follow the McKinney-Vento Act for that. If the child's in foster care, they automatically qualify. If they receive public assistance, and that would be TANF, which is Temporary Assistance to Needy Families. If they receive SNAP, which is food stamps, or SSI, they automatically qualify for our services. No other income will be needed. And then our last category will be family income. So if they don't have any of the others, it would be their family income. We ask for like a tax return or a W-2 to see what their income is and if they fall below the poverty guideline. So we are not a first come, first served waiting list. So it is based on need. And this is what we consider some of the factors for our families to be at high risk. So it does, parents can qualify for many of these, and then we consider that they're a higher risk. So we look at formerly homeless, if they were homeless the previous 6 months, so they're not homeless now, but they were. If they have a child with a disability, so if they have a current IFSP, which is an individualized family service plan with ECI, or if they have an IEP, which is an individualized education plan with the school district. If they're a single parent household, if they're working full-time or going to school, if they're a pregnant mom, teen parent, if they have less than a 12th grade education, if they're receiving services for any parent, mental health, drug, or alcohol services, and they have an incarcerated parent, if English is their second language, if there's any CPS involvement, and if they already are a part of our program. So those are some of the things that we take into consideration on our waiting list. These are all our locations. Again, 4 of them are CTO owned, and the other ones we're partnering with businesses, with other childcares in the area. There's 3 in Arlington. And then we do have a referral form. And then we have our flyer with the QR code. The parents are able to apply. It goes directly to our eligibility specialist. Or we encourage partners to use the referral form as well. Sometimes they send the families to our website. It takes a little bit longer to get that information. We rather, if we're, having this presentation, if you're able to use the referral form in order to have a rapid response to that family. And these are just some of the names of the families of the workers that can clarify any questions if you have any. Yes.
Okay, so I deal with this list as a social worker. I get families coming in all the time wanting to put in applications. Transforming Lives came to, we had a meeting. I have the application form. I filled it out. I sent it in for several families and haven't heard any.
That referral one?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll get and
Yeah,
we'll connect. Yes.
So we're steady, just sending them. And
Has the parent received any communication?
some of, then a lot of, and then I heard the homeless, like, oh, I have some parents that are homeless with their kids in their car. They can automatically.
So let me clarify, the referral form is for Head Start, Early Head Start.
Okay.
So that's our internal ones. If you're wanting, like, it's not for the economic mobility or for housing. For those, you would have to go through the Center for Transforming Lives link.
Yeah, I need.
So the referral would be directly for Head Start, Early Head Start.
Yeah, so that's what I'm needing, but it's been a little bit because we've been putting them in. So I just wanted to, because I know everything takes time, but like, are we gonna get a call? Is the parent gonna get a call?
The parent should be receiving a call.
Okay,
So, but I'll get with you because
Okay.
we have a weekly meeting and I know we discussed those referrals. So I'll get with
so and
you.
I have all,
To ensure.
everything on the email.
Yes. And then I could even check families to see if
Okay.
we've already done that with them.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Uh-huh. Any other questions?
So is that referral form, is that online or?
I'll send it out. It'll go out with Caitlin as well. Yes. Again, because sometimes we'll get that referral and it's for housing or it's economic mobility. It's directly just for Head Start, early Head Start. Yes.
I think the answer is on this page somewhere, but for the childcare, you mentioned there's currently still funding for the CDBG.
In Arlington.
For Arlington for the childcare one. Who should someone, if they have someone to refer to that, who do they contact?
It would be the same department. So we handle the same applications. Mhm.
So we need to write on that, like for the, like, cause I think I have one family in Arlington that would be perfect for. So if I put in a referral for that family, do I need to write the
CDBG on there.
Okay.
Mhm. And we still have funding for that one.
Okay,
Yes.
and that's
And
up
slots
to
available.
3-year-olds,
That's up to 5,
up to 5,
0 to 5.
yeah.
You said y'all just currently have spots for 3-year-olds in terms.
No, that's for Head Start. I have some spots for the free ones for Head Start, for Head Start. I have that. And then for CDBG it's 0 to 5 for the UTA campus.
You know of any in Fort Worth? If y'all have any in Fort Worth?
Our only childcare facility that's fee-based in Fort Worth is our RKM, which is downtown. And they don't have CDBG funding. What they have a homeless funding. So like, let's say they can't get, because we have a big waiting list, we have a funder that pays childcare for families that have special situations. So that's the type of funding that they have for childcare. Because sometimes if we have a waiting list, but they're in high need, that funder would pick up that tab.
Okay.
Yes.
That's the question. So if it's just hypothetical, if there's like a big family, like 6 kids and all of them are under like 3 or 5, they're all under 5. Would they try, if they got in there, would they be able to put them in like the same? Would that be really hard to get them all into the same facility?
Right now, yes, because we're mainly full.
Okay,
In the beginning of a program term, maybe not.
okay.
Which that happens in August, right? But right now, and sometimes the parents are like, I wanna wait. We recommend you don't wait because at this point, for you to get 6 of them and even 2 of them in is rare. I would always suggest bring one in, right? And then if another slot opens up, we will bring that one. There's times, we have some parents that are in 3 different sites. And we try to put them together, but that usually happens again in the new program term where we have the ability to put them together.
Okay.
But we do have unfortunately, some parents that have to commute. The centers in Fort Worth are around each other or the ones in Arlington. They're not in high distance of each other, but I didn't mention our hours. So for our early Head Start hours, our hours are 7 to 5. And for Head Start, it's 8 to 4.
If someone had, you mentioned, and I forgot which group of people this was specifically for, but things like gas cards and diapers and things like that. If someone were to have something like that in excess that they wanted to donate, who would they contact?
That they would want to donate to
Yeah, like
us?
if they had extra diapers or something like that, is that something y'all would accept as donations?
Yes, so we have a development group as well, and they're the ones that get like diapers, donations, like 2 weeks ago, we had a donor for computers. So we're waiting on those to come in. They donated 75 computers and we opened it up to our families of who was interested. We had families sign up for that. So we'll distribute that for all of our kiddos. We have funders that give coats and shoes every year. For Christmas, they'll get, a toy, clothes and shoes. So we have these outstanding funders that every year they provide for the children. They'll give books out and things like that. Yeah, but if they're wanting to donate to us, we'll take it. They can, if they can't get with development, they can email me and I'll make sure they get to the right department. Yes. Anyone
online? Sorry, I need to open the chat back up.
Yeah, a lot of, you need a care, giver that speaks Spanish.
Caregivers?
I mean, you know, the care of the children, right?
Yes. Yeah, so we have bilingual staff. Yes, and bilingual family advocates as well.
Do they have to be 100% bilingual or do they speak only Spanish?
No, yeah, they don't have to be 100% bilingual when they're able to apply. Mhm. Any other? Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all of that information, and I'll share out that list of dates that she's got of different things that they've got. I know we frequently share out Center for Transforming Lives programming in our resources and events part of our email newsletter. All of y'all should be on our email newsletter because you knew to come here, but if somehow anyone here is not signed up for that, let me know, put a star on your name on the sign-in, something, and I can get y'all added to that. We send out the invites, the recaps, the recordings. If you were like, someone said something about this specific resource, now I don't remember who said it, to ask them about it. It's all recorded and goes on our website and in our newsletter and on YouTube. So our final speakers, we have with Childcare Associates of Tarrant County, Brittany Collier and Tanya Swinford. Brittany is the current Client Services Program Manager for Tarrant County CCMS. She holds an associate's and a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, where she specialized in sociology. She has worked with CCMS for Denton and Tarrant counties for a combination of 12 years and served as a staff manager for a large child care provider for a year and a half, where she succeeded in getting the provider TRS certified with a 3-star level. Tanya Swinford has been an early childhood educator for over 25 years. She's a former early childhood home provider. After spending more than 16 years as a home provider and now almost 10 years at Tarrant County CCMS, Tanya is currently the director of childhood education and promoting quality childcare. Tanya holds a BA from Fort Hays State University, where she specialized in early childhood education and public service.
So I'll start off. I am the program manager for client services, so I'm over all the parents, the long waiting list, all of that. So I'll go through a couple things. I'm sure you'll have a lot of questions. So our basic requirements, I didn't realize I picked the wrong color. I know it's like bad. I see them, so I might have to stand further.
Let me see.
And can you just hand me my paper? That'll be.
I was trying to pull up the
Thank you. No,
previous
it's
interview for you to see from this end, but it's not,
You're fine.
it's hiding from me.
So the basic requirements for our program: children must be a US citizen, or have legal immigrant status. The parents do not have to, but the children do. The family must reside in Tarrant County. They must not exceed the maximum income for the household size, which is set by the state. That does change every October. They reevaluate poverty guidelines and things, and we get new guidelines. The children receiving care must be 13 years of age or younger, or 19-year-olds if they have a diagnosed disability. Single parents have to qualify or have a qualifying activity of at least 25 hours per week. It has to be school or work, or a combination between both. Dual parent households, they both have to be working or in school in a qualifying activity, but they have to have a combination of 50 hours a week combined in both of those activities. And then the family may be eligible for a 90-day job search at initial enrollment, if one of the parents isn't working or in school at the time. So we do offer a 90-day job search for that. Any questions on any of that? Okay. So we do have priorities that get care first before regular income eligible families. And that is set by the state. So the first priority is assured childcare services, and includes children of parents eligible for the following. So Choices is a program that comes through the Workforce Commission. They do have to qualify for TANF, temporary assistance for needy families first. And if that parent is seeking employment, then they can go through a program called Choices. It is free childcare for a year, but that comes through a workforce referral from the Workforce Commission. Temporary assistance for needy families If they're not job searching, but they qualify for TANF, they can also get childcare through that funding as well, and SNAP and ENT. And those all three come through a workforce referral program. The second priority group is served subject to availability of funds and includes in the following order of priority. So we have to serve in this order: children who need to receive protective services. They have a CPS case, former CPS case. They do get the first priority in that second priority group. Children of qualified veterans or qualified spouses that are veterans. Children of foster parents or foster youth. Children of teen parents, children with disabilities, and children experiencing homelessness. Homelessness, Tarrant County currently uses the referral program as well. We partner with all of the homeless agencies in Tarrant County who have a referral form that they send over. So the homeless agencies will verify that that family meets the McKinney-Vento Act and they send us a referral form, and that is how Tarrant County does our homeless referral program. The third priority group, there are many of those, so it is hard to list them, but it includes any other priority adopted by our board that they have agreed to, but the board must not establish a priority group based on parent choice of an individual provider or an individual provider type. So we can't base a priority just because a parent or a family wants to use a certain daycare provider. So that's the stipulation there. But we have several different community partners that we partner with. We partner with TCC currently. They have a referral program that gets that third priority group, and they send in a referral form for their students. So we have different programs like that with community agencies that we partner with. So our website is where they can apply, tarrantcountyccms.org. We do currently have a waiting list. Currently, we are serving around 9,000 to 9,500 children daily in all 9 of our priority or our funding codes. There are currently 9,000 families on our wait list. That equates to about 15,000 children or so right now. We're begging for more money, but that's where we're at. With the initiative that the state set out of getting all childcare providers to be quality centers, with the TRS STAR system, now the state is paying more per child for each slot that they're paying for. So where we would love to serve more children, right now the initiative is quality childcare. So that is where kind of that extra money went this year. And that is contact information if anybody needs it or has any questions after this, but does anybody have any questions right now?
So,
I knew it was coming.
so it is, I know someone that applied for the CCMS and they 2 years ago, and they got contacted like yesterday, the week. So that's basically, I mean, that's about, I mean, I saw the 9,000, I would just put my pen down.
Yes. So for a year and 7 months, we had a program that me and one of my supervisors developed called the Rapid Enrollment. So we were just, every single application that was applying, we were calling, we were sending enrollment packets. We enrolled little over 5,000 children in like 7-month period. Once that funding ran out and our board said, you've spent all the money that you have for the rest of the year, then we had to start holding that wait list. So I have people on the wait list since June, but that is when we place them. That's not necessarily when they applied. So several things can happen. If an application comes in with errors, we have to deny it. If, you know, that, and sometimes parents don't realize that, they don't, you know, call and then it's 6 months later, you know, before they put another one in. So several things can happen. It's best for parents to call so we can tell them their exact situation, but sounds about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if someone applies for TANF, but they're not approved, and they're added to the wait list, does that bump them up or are they still on their kind of?
No, I mean, TANF, because it comes through the workforce, that is something that the workforce handles. They basically send over a referral program and they put in the budget code that it's TANF funding, and we will put them in under that because the workforce has told us that we can't. If they apply for our program, there's nowhere to check TANF because that is a referral program. Anything else? Thank you.
I'm gonna talk about Texas Rising Star. I think all the speakers have spoke about Texas Rising Star, so I'm gonna talk about it a little bit more. Texas Rising Star is
Every state has a QRIS system, a quality rating improvement system, and Texas Rising Star is that center or that accreditation. And so TWC made a mandate that all programs become Texas Rising Star by September 30th, 2024. And we have approximately, I'm going to say probably 500 programs in Texas Rising Star or in Tarrant County that hold an agreement for CCMS to care for our CCMS children. And TWC wants all children that we pay for to be in a quality childcare center. And so we are working on that initiative. We have approximately 250 programs that are Texas Rising Star now. And we have about 200 programs that need to be assessed by the deadline. We're hoping that there's going to be a waiver, but we are working on getting all those programs onboarded and into Texas Rising Star. To be a Texas Rising Star program, you have to be licensed. Childcare program, you can be a home, you can be a registered home, a licensed home, an after school site, or a licensed childcare center. You can also be military, but I don't think we have any of those in Tarrant County. You have to have 1 year of licensing history, and you have to have a good licensing history. And so you have to have an agreement to care for CCMS children, and you can't be on corrective action with child care regulation. So 2 years ago, they came up with an entry level, and that's where these 250 programs lie. They're not Texas Rising Star, they're entry level. And those 250 programs have to become Texas Rising Star and hold a 2 or 3 or 4 star level. They have 2 years. So if you have a new program that starts an agreement with CCMS, they have 2 years to come in as Texas Rising Star. There's a screening form. I'm not going to go into details, but they look at, they make sure you're not on corrective action, that you don't have certain deficiencies or that you have too many deficiencies. Again, the goal overall is for our children to be in quality childcare centers. Our program is weighted. So we collect a lot of paperwork, work with a lot of programs, and then they go through an assessment. And we look at director and staff qualifications. We also look at teacher-child interactions, which is weighted at 40%. Program administration, which is looking at the program, the handbook. Are they doing ASQs? What kind of curriculum are they using? Those kind of things. And then they also look at the indoor and outdoor environments. Teacher-child interactions is weighted at 40% though. There's 2 different kinds of measures. There's structural, which are the required measures, and then you have the qualitative, which is you can score 0 to 3 points. Those are not required, but we always encourage it. Our goal is for you guys to come in at a 4 star. Again, I kind of already talked about how the categories are broke down and the things that they look at: family engagement, family involvement, that kind of stuff. So why become Texas Rising Star? Well, now to become Texas Rising Star, if you want to care for scholarship children, you have to be Texas Rising Star. So that's one. When you do become Texas Rising Star, you can receive higher reimbursement rates, which is what Brittany spoke to, which is why we have this big wait list, because we're spending more money on our children to be in quality childcare centers. We also help out with resources. I'm trying to think of some of the initiatives this year. We are purchasing some curriculum for some of our childcare centers. We're doing a wage supplement and helping out some of our childcare teachers. We are also, we provide education. This is a big help. We will pay for teachers to get a CDA, and we will also help pay for an associate's degree in child development with our community college. So that's a big help. And then, of course, the best deal is one-on-one mentoring. I have approximately 25 mentors, and they all work with all 500 programs in Tarrant County, helping them with best practices, what's developmentally appropriate, helping them to try and stay in the classroom so that we don't lose them. Really, that's That's what it's looking in the classrooms these days. And then we also provide professional development.
It's
Testing
the
the
test.
Yes.
They test, it happens every time during this session. There's testing siren.
Does anybody have any questions?
But you were saying that that portion needs to be wanting to become certified, rice,
Texas Rising
Rising Star, you can help us become.
Yes. So what's good about Texas Rising Star is there is a mandate that your program is required if you're going to care for scholarship children.
Is
But-
it for small children?
Yes, any licensed, registered, childcare's home and center, we will, they have to be licensed with the state.
But not children like are made to.
Yeah, we work with after school sites too.
You do?
Yes, yes, they just must be licensed. And then our mentors will help them through the process of collecting all the paperwork and setting up the observations and all that good stuff. So that it's not like they're doing it on their own.
And are you in need of those establishments?
Of what?
Getting more participants, or more people doing
More childcare programs?
after school programs?
I mean, we have quite a few after-school programs. What's good about it is it opens up to options for our parents. So parents, when Brittany does a referral, and says this child qualifies for childcare, it's parents' choice. And so, but the parent must choose a quality childcare center. So the more programs that we have that are Texas Rising Star, the more choices, our parents have to put in their children in a quality childcare center. Yeah.
So they only reach up until after school programs, or what age is that? Is it like 12?
I think we look for 0 to 13, right?
Yeah.
You-
They
Yeah,
have to be under 13.
yeah, under 13. Yes, yes.
Once they, okay, let's just say you got a child and a CCMS, but once the child is placed with the family, y'all don't do that anymore, right? Y'all don't pay the child care anymore, right?
In what situation?
If the child is, okay, say, okay, I got legal custody of my great nephew. Once we adopted him, we're no longer, CCMS no longer have to pay for his daycare, right? No longer pay for his daycare.
Was he a foster placement first?
Yes,
So, okay, so that comes through usually our community partner, our community, our kids, which is okay. And they'll send over a referral form to basically pay for that care, and that kind of works the same way as CPS does, because it comes through that same way. Once they're placed with you and you adopt, then you would have to qualify for the eligibility program. So you would have to submit your check stubs and things like that, but you have that opportunity to roll over.
Better chance for them.
What do you mean?
So like, I used to work in foster care, so if I had a kid that was in foster care, then he got adopted.
Mhm.
If he qualified for subsidy, which means like, say he has disability, or he just meets all the requirements and qualifies for subsidy, then that family that adopted him would then get funding for like other types of things, like school, I don't know, it's CCMS, but I don't follow up with those families
Yeah.
after they adopt, but, I'm just wondering, because I know if they get a bunch of benefits, like, I think Medicaid, all of those things, once the kids get subsidy. So is that an option, like if the person adopts a kid and then qualifies for subsidy, do y'all take that, or?
Well, I mean, as far as childcare goes, they have to qualify for our income eligible program because now that child is legally there. So the foster program, our community, our kids, they don't look at income. They just make sure that the parents are working 32 hours a week. And as long as they are, what they make, they pay for their childcare because it's a foster child.
Okay.
Once that child legally becomes yours, then you have to go under our income eligible program because it's our eligibility.
That's what I was wondering, because I know, I said, like, if I was trying to get it for my daughter, it would be based off of my income. However, I was wondering, like, if it's in his situation.
Yeah, once they become adopted and they're legally yours, so then you're the legal guardians.
you're right, she's there.
Any other questions?
We like to come up with the complicated questions. Right. Thank you all both so much, and thank you to all of our speakers. Let me just triple check the chat. I don't see any more questions in the chat. I see a couple people provided their emails. I will get y'all added to the email list. Actually, we do have one more message. Jimmy with Housing Authority says, just an FYI, Arlington City Council passed a property tax exemption for eligible childcare providers last night. Wow, this is some last minute info. Like, the facility must be licensed by HHSC and the owner or operator must participate in the Texas Rising Star program, and at least 20% children enrolled are subsidized by TWC's Child Care Services program. So sounds like that's related to some of the stuff that got voted on in the last voting. And it just now got approved here through our city processes. So that's great to hear. Great to see what.
That is great.
Great to see what comes out of that. That'll be a definite benefit for all of those families. So a couple quick announcements. Where y'all sign? Oh, sorry. Yes, yes. I will add that to the email. So a few quick announcements. Back here at the sign-in, I left some VITA flyers for anyone who's not familiar with our VITA program. We have VITA sites around Tarrant County, which offers free tax preparation services for any families making $64,000 or less a year. So it's completely free services. The volunteers that help them do their taxes are IRS trained and recognized. And then there's, after they do it, there's also quality reviewers that review it. So they do amazing work at helping people maximize their returns. And then they also are informed in terms of other financial planning, like resources for financial stability and things like that. So they can help them connect with the Center for Transforming Lives classes that are budgeting based or whatever. It's not just Center for Transforming Lives. That's just who I thought of in the moment. But they have all kinds of resources and information on that. There's a flyer back there that has the link to the website and then a 2-page of the list of our sites, where each of those are. If anyone has any questions on that, I'm happy to talk to y'all more about that. I do have a flyer for YMCA has a, had it pulled up a moment ago. It's tomorrow, so that's why I gotta say this one in person instead of in our recap.
I think it's some greatest advocacy job here.
No.
No?
I don't know that one. They have a virtual Healthy Weight and Your Child Spring 2024. There's an information session tomorrow from noon to 5:30 p.m. And the contact is Vaughn. I meant to put it in the slideshow, so that's why it's not very useful right now. If anyone wants to get that flyer, come talk to me afterwards and I will send it to you. So that one's an information session for their upcoming programming related to that. And then the last thing I have as an update is next month is homelessness, and we are working on partnering for these. So keep an eye out